All right. Good morning, everyone. Let's turn on some background music that is not, in fact. Hey, I like the hip hop music. I don't know. I like it. Oh, cool. Don't ask me. I just worked it. I'm still working on this page here. We'll get there. I'm trying to brace myself for a change in thought process. It's hard because I'm spent the week doing too many switches in stories and things and from thing to thing, and I don't do well with switching, like having things switched so often. And so I need time of where I'm just concentrating on one thing for a little while, just to kind of get my head screwed back on straight. So I've never been really very good at the swap stuff, which is one of the reasons why I don't do well in a corporate environment, because I have two different conflicting problems. I don't do well if I am swapped up too many times, and I hate staying on the same thing for too long, which makes me just a mess. That's just really what it boils down to. I'm a mess. That's all right. We'll get there. All right. This is actually kind of turning out to be somewhat of a interesting character sheet to some degree. And there is an interesting sort of almost role-playing game-esque format to this that's forming, which I've always kind of pondered the idea of doing a Bellatrix Rising role-playing game. And I realized that one of the interesting things about a role-playing game is when you have interesting characters that do interesting things. And I was thinking last night when we were talking a little bit about awards and things like that and putting awards, some of this sounds silly until you actually do it, right? Until it's actually put into play. Then you're like, I don't know, that doesn't sound as silly anymore. And the concept that by the way, Brent, if you are listening to this later on or watching this later on, there was an error that has occurred with sending your things. We had the wrong postage on it. So it is back in my shop. It's coming back. So don't look for it yet. It has not, in fact, gone out, which is why we did this, of course, was to test it to see whether we did the right things or the wrong things. And I did the wrong things, and I set it up wrong. This has been kind of a hectic week. The week has been kind of wild. So don't look for the comic yet. It has not been sent out. So do not look for the comic in the mail. You were my guinea pig on mailing things. So until I figure out how to mail things, which this just needs to be dealt with correctly. Really what needed to happen was I went to the post office, put postage on it, and weighed it on their little weighing machine and screwed it up. Next time, I'm going to go in and put it and wait in line. I just didn't want to wait in line. And I thought waiting in line was stupid, so I didn't. And now I'm regretting my life choices. So we'll get it out there again. So again, don't go looking for it, because it's not there. wonder if there's a thing. Yeah, well, they're saying the 10,000 hour rule is a myth. So, all right. We think about her being about 35, right? She's about 35 years old. I know she doesn't look it. That's the whole point. She's about 35 years old, so we're going to talk about what her skill set would be. So, looking at what the Secretary of the Navy wants, manpower and reserve, what are the skill sets they're looking for an 05? So looking at what an 05 would need, she's an 05, right? Lieutenant Commander. Well, if we were just to look at just the ranks, the profession ranks, right? We're going to talk about just the ranks themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's blue, right? And officer level, she's blue. She's the 4th rank of that. She's her military arm of the military arm would be blue. So her years of service bar would be this light blue. Right? That's her military time. Her primary career is as a military officer. That one's probably easy because that's her. How long have you been frickin' in the Unity, right? So the icon for that would be in Bellatrix Rising, though. Why is this going the other direction? There. I hate it when it does that because I can't find anything. All right. So if you were to look at what she's got going for her, let me take this. I'll copy. So what I'm doing at this moment is I'm taking, and we've decided that her first career position is going to be to the Unity. So the icon for this will be the Unity icon, which makes some sense. That's her military career badge. That's her, the most important badge on her, or the last badge on the rack. Should it be up here or should it be down here? How do you read it? How would you read it? I guess I would read it this way, wouldn't I? Yeah. Okay. That'd be how I would read it. Let's talk about that. That's that badge. You're that. And now we have to go repair it because I screwed it up. If I was smart, I wouldn't have done it this way. But I did it this way because I'm not smart. Leave me alone. And the thing is, if you actually look at her professions, the obverse of that is her internal skill set, which would look like a stripe like that, right? So let's make that bigger. That's not the way we want this to go. That stripe indicates that she has something else that went on, an accommodation or something like that, that indicates she's doing it's effectively, she works with the military with honors. If you know what orange honors mean, then you know what that means and you can read it easily. And actually, I think what I would like to do is indicate that it is similar in some way to the stripe that she has, like that. I've often thought, like I said, about the idea of this. You know, if you're going to do this, though, do it. Don't be stupid about it. You're being stupid about it. Brush shape. We have dashed lines. Have the ability to do dashed lines, so don't be dumb about it. I actually don't like the way, though, that it clashes, so let's do green and see what happens. We'll raise that rank a little bit so it won't clash as much. Because sometimes you just do things because it looks good and shut up. And that's pretty much the way it always works. What if I made it dotted? Oh, what if I made it cute little hearts? Nobody would ever notice that. No, we got Pac-Man going on here. Good morning, Brent. Brent, message for you. I messed up the postage. Your comic books are back in my shop. They will head back out again. I will fix the postage, which is why you are my guinea pig and why I'm not saying I can send stuff yet. So, you are my guinea pig. You are my guinea pig, my only guinea pig. Huh. Who knew? Do guinea pigs oink? I don't think they oink. That's what I'm looking for. I feel like that's not visible. So anyway, the long and the short of this is that it will be back on its way back out again. I should not have. What I did was I went into the post office and put the postage on it on the little from the little meter, and it was the wrong postage. I should have just gone up to the counter, but there were people at the counter and things were unpleasant, and I was like avoiding and stuff. So there was that. So that's what happened. And I really shouldn't have done that, but then, right? All right. I was saying at the top of this, I think I've hit too many switches. I've switched too many times in the last couple of weeks, and I'm burned out a little bit. So I'm going to stay focused for a little bit on Bellatrix just for a little while and just kind of get back on my feet, because I was starting to get kind of like this last week, and I could feel it. I was starting to kind of get wiggy and get out of focus, and then this week was so stressful because I screwed up my timing on when I was supposed to finish those animations, and so I think I burned out. So not burned out, but just kind of want to retreat a little bit, and so I'm retreating into ridiculously weird details, but it's all right. At least we're still moving forward with Bellatrix Rising. We're just moving forward in a world building way, because world building makes me feel more normal or whatever. I don't know. That doesn't even make sense. I'm sure it makes sense somewhere along the line, but it doesn't make sense. Draw me like one of your space girls. So now I'm going to draw Jerry as a girl in a uniform, and we're all going to go, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah, that's, ooh, Now, she's only been in command. The command track, she's been a line officer. Yeah. I think you disturbed us all there, Jerry. You know, it's kind of keeping us all kind of, whoa, yeah, well, that happened. So, she's only been a line officer for, I'd say, 3 ranks, maybe. They're not really 10,000 hours. It's 10,000 hours is the you didn't want to test. So you just kept going. And then after a while, they're like, dude, you've been doing this for 10,000 hours. Come on. So you can move faster than 10,000 hours. You just have to test for the next level. And so, but she hasn't been in command, in the command track for this entire time. So part of this indicates she's effectively an 05. That puts her at the officer level of, she's been in the military now for this long to here. She's a blue belt in military. But command track she hasn't been in, but that's for that long, but that's her profession. So it's going to be second. And I think that you would put like command track to be your second, like the subgroup of what you are, is the second badge. So we're going to find ourselves a star, something reasonable. There's like all these things, these wild patterns. Some of these are really pretty, though. I'm like, aw, that's very pretty. Aw, that's pretty too. Notice all these star images? I have an issue. Just saying. I totally have an issue. Okay. Yeah, there's that. Isn't there like, I don't know, a thing I could... Oh, I like that I can download mosaics. I find that to be somewhat disturbing. There. Okay. Stop doing that. There. Yellow star. I can deal with that. It doesn't match the stars that we usually use, because that's and you're going to be surprised to find, oh, I could put a skull and crossbones. That's kind of cute. There's sound effects in here. Oh my gosh, there are like totally sound effects in here. Let's kick butt. Go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Rumble. That's pouring. Yeah, king. Gong. Oh man, that's cool. Gotcha. Oh man, these are great. Yeah. What? Gotcha. Dong. Gong. Get it. Right? I know, but it's so cute. It's so cute and stuff. I don't know. Boop. That's cute. Mega. Oh, I can make him blush. Nope. The truth is, she finds this very uncomfortable. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, let's stop because I'm just never going to get anywhere if we keep this up. So, the fact that all of that's in Clip Studio is remarkably disturbing to me. It's just remarkably disturbing. All right, let's shrink this back down. That's not the one I wanted to shrink down. This is the one I wanted to shrink down. Can I control this by points? Nope. It says it's a smart object, but it's really not. Okay, just making sure. Then let's try a different tactic, shall we? What? There comes a time when being an artist is a useful skill. Okay, we decided she was probably really here. I mean, she's not a newbie commander, but I don't think she's up very high. So maybe orange? Maybe? For her command star. Just orange level. She's got an orange belt in command. The question really is, now that we've got her command rating, what was her job before that? Cochrane's job before that was a transporter chief. We don't have transporters in Bellatrix Rising, so there isn't a one-to-one on moving over to Chang. But what was Chang's previous MOS? I don't think it would be pilot. I don't want it to be pilot because then that makes her likely better than Mayrel, and I don't want to do that. And it's not a science thing. Because communications? Yeah, she could have been a comm officer. Yeah, I'd go with that. Nah. Um, I want her tactic skills to have been a hobby, so that it was obscure. Like part of the thing that I like about Chang and have always liked about Chang is, as a character, is she's like me. She started out in the world kind of not sure which direction to go, and ended up in a career path that was like, it's not really what you want to do. She's good at it, but that's not what she wanted to do. I'm almost tempted to say data collection. Like that was what I was in data operations. I'm really, really good at databases. I hate working in databases. But I'm really, really good at working in databases, looking through data and combing through data for problems and things like that. But it's a skill that I have that I absolutely despise. I don't despise it. That's not fair, because I don't actually despise it, but it's still something that, shrug. You know what I mean? Like, eh. So I don't feel like that would be a thing. So maybe data collection. I mean, I've often said that Chang is really me, just converted, you know. So maybe she was a data person, right? Which could be something similar to this. I had at one point in time a bunch of icons. So I love the idea of icons being in here. Hey, while we're at it, yeah, database operations. That sounds like she's just going to do database work. That was her previous profession. She was a paper pusher. She didn't come from medical. She was previously a paper pusher. In the original timeline for Cochrane, she was a paper pusher at a starbase until her daughter passed away. Then she switched to command track because why not? She lost her husband and everything fell apart. And then so she switched to command track because she just didn't care anymore. Didn't matter whether she was putting her life at risk or not. She was okay with that. It didn't really matter anymore. So, oh, I like these. I don't want to use them direct, but I like these. So, oh, hey, Brent, I used to be able to do Windows Shift S, and it would bring up the clip, the ability to clip, to snip, or whatever it's called, and that's gone now. And so I can only do it through the print screen button, which captures all three of these screens and then throws them on here when I really just want to clip this one thing. So the snipping tool, yeah. Do you know, I mean, well, maybe I just need to fire off snipping tool. Yeah, maybe the app's just not working. Okay. Oh, print screen. Did print screen do that? Yes, that's not firing it off either. Control Shift or Windows Shift S isn't working. I'm not getting the snip tool. I just launched it, and now it's still not working. I mean, it even says, press Windows logo plus Shift plus S to start a snip. Windows logo, Shift, S. Nothing. So something is locking down snip tool because it's not working anymore. Settings, maybe? And we've restarted, so whatever is wrong with snip tool, it's not working. It's so I'll just do this the old-fashioned way. Which is frustrating because it catches everything. I don't want to catch everything, and that's all right. There are five. There are 5 lights. Because I like the idea of these. Oh, because I'm streaming? Well, that's horribly useless. Did they change it so that I can't do this anymore? Because, of course, that's remarkably useless. So you can't screenshot while you're streaming. Back to the, who knows? You might actually like do something with it. Okay, I'm just going to use these as a yeah, but see, that's the problem is Command Shift S doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually bring up the tool. Even with snipping up, nothing happens. So I can't use the snipping tool even with the tool up. It doesn't say anything that's useful. So to see, like, these are the things that I'm looking at here. Like, that sounds like a coder. That's like a straight up coder. This one seems more like what we'd want for. Thanks, Windows. Where'd you place it? Did you place it off the page? Oh, there it is. It's way up there. I'm just gonna make a new version of this. That's all right. Windows can be a jerk, and I'll just live with it. All right. That's the star. So I don't even know where you are. I decided to put this so far out in the middle of nowhere. No idea where you are. We're still in Japanese mode again. We're in Japanese mode. Stop being in Japanese mode. You're not helping any. Nine. That's important to have a 9 in there. There. Just using it for a start. There. So what we would want her to be further along in that. She did that for a long time. So I'm going to call that one a green level. She was doing that for a very long time, that profession. But that's, let's do the wrong layer. Her. Wait. We have to do the thing. Okay. I think the interesting thing about this is one could look at her ranks in things and say, you were great at data management. Why didn't you just stay there? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you stay in your field and that actually is like very clear here, and I love that. You can look right at it and go, "Psh, why didn't you stay in data processing? You were good there. Why did you move to command?" And that would be an interesting choice of things to look at and go, that is interesting. Why didn't you? Why did you move to command? So that whenever she's having a crisis of personality or whatever, she can ask herself, why did I do this? I was good at command, or I was good at data management. I should have just stayed in data management. Oh, here we go. New adult dating things. Hey, let's block the user on YouTube and because this will be fun, add to block list on the restream chat. Dump. I'm easily entertained. Thump. What happened? You got thumped. The 3 stripes means that she did really good stuff, and she got awards for it. She did different things. She was a cool processor of data processor. So there we go. Okay, those are her 3 MOSs. So we've started with her, like, she was in data management and now she moved to command. Now we talk about her internal skills. Like, what's her highest rating in tactics would be something I would think would be tactics. So what icon works? Actually, you could be a star person. Oh boy. So looking at all of these guys, we kind of want one that says tactics, although law is a good one. I think she should have law as well. Because I feel like that's her thing, is definitely law. Right? AI relations. I think relations definitely is a thing she's good at. That would be like this icon right here, where it's talking about 2 hands shaking. I think that's definitely one of her skills. I don't know which one it is. We'll have to come up with this. This is kind of fun. I mean, it is a distraction. Yes, I admit openly, but I'm also just somehow spun out. So we'll get back to normal world things. She will definitely need a medical of some sort, because everybody needs medical, but I don't think she'll be terribly good at it. I think law is good. I like this icon right here as a law icon. Her engineering probably isn't horribly good, but she'd have it because she is still... I am giving the character depth. What other skills do we think she would have? So I know we want some soldier skills of some sort. And I feel like using a pistol is not very good. I would rather use a rifle to indicate it. But a pistol might be more recognizable, even though it's outdated. Right. So I'll give her the military pistol thing, and we'll figure it out whether she has that or not. I also really want something about tactics, but I feel like that's not the symbol I want to use for tactics, because that should be her, like, things she did prior or something. Yeah, I agree. Something non-related, like Baker. The Baker ones can be for non, that one actually I was thinking of giving her something like that so that she cooks. She's got actually skills in cooking, which is useful. These are kind of fun to kind of go over and look at this. I also think that we will put her ranks that she doesn't show, like the child one, which is this, we'll pull from the nanny over here. But I guess I can use this one for right now. Not liking it as much as the other ones, but that's her thing. She's into tactics. But it was a hobby. So, and then we will add, I'll add the pacifier to indicate that she was a parent. I feel like that's sort of weak, but works. And she won't display that one. She'll take that one off of her rack because it's a personal rack, or it's a personal skill, so she doesn't need to. I feel like we could use the bread maybe for cooking. We could use the bread or the turkey stick. I feel like the bread is more, I don't know. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have one more than we actually have. Is all right. So let's talk about what skills are on this rack. Well, which is perfect, because that one's not going to be on there. She's not going to talk about it. Second thing she's got mostly is tactics. So that's her second most usable MOS. Which is not as good as her weapons skill. In fact, I would consider diplomacy to be her second usable skill. And then law. And then sharpshooting, which is like, I don't know, somewhat useful. Her weapon skill, not her top. And then we have, going down from there, we have cooking, which I think is also like her best usable skill. And then medical, moving up from there. And then finally, engineering. Her mechanical skills are going to be very ingenue. She's going to be very, very... She has them. So this would be any skills that were over 10,000 hours. Right? So those would be any skills that were over 10,000 hours. And then there will be the life that she doesn't talk about. Right? And that's this skill. This skill. It's not a skill necessarily, but she doesn't want to be recognized or remembered for these skills. Because that part of her life she doesn't talk about. So I think that's another one. Right? So if you think about this from the point of view of... Hi, Tormund. So we think about it from the point of view of the things she doesn't want to talk about. She doesn't want to talk about having a child, being a teacher, or having to take care of somebody, right? Those are three skills that nursing is sort of what she ended up with, because she had a sick child for more than a year. So you end up with that skill. We're going to take just these three on the right over here. We're going to copy and paste them and then deselect it and then move these three over. No, be nice, work with me here. Take these and just extend them over like this. She doesn't use them or acknowledge them or wear them. For those of you who are joining me, we are working on building my main character's skill sets. So we are, in a way, developing the character. But like I said, she doesn't wear these. Oh, man. That's not as good an idea as I thought it was. Let's just do that later. Let's do that later, shall we? All right. We'll move this to right here. At some point in the story, she will add these back onto her story, so to speak. By the way, This is literally what the Deistati do. When they put the icons on their face. This is literally what they're doing. So they're doing the same thing, which is a point of contention between the two, between the people. It's totally a point of contention. All right, let's take this guy and shrink him down. And let's just go on ahead and just... The wind is picking up. Right. You are now a cat bed. That is now your job. You have no further life except your fate. pike it into a blaster. That way it's not as obviously a pistol. I mean, not like I'm really worried. It could be an anachronism, and that would be still acceptable, but we might as well make it space agey. You know, it's anachronistic. Boy, that's a hard word to say, but it's an anachronistic laser pistol. You know, it's not the laser pistol we use anymore. We'll need to make sure that I keep a version of these icons once made, because of course the rest of my crew will use a lot of these. There we go. Now, take all of these, I'll copy, and I will put them somewhere. Probably should put them here. So we now know what some of these are, and I can reuse them because everybody in our military is going to have this first one because that's the military service award, but only command track will have this one, and then the other ones will have different depending on what track they're in. All right, now that we've done that, we can go on ahead and do this. Design document says this color. She's considered to have that because the life of the child was terminated, so that goes black, which is fine. But she didn't. 1, 2, 3, probably 3 be my thought on that one. Over here for that one. We can kill that. We don't need that anymore. And though she didn't spend that much time on it, it's still considered, could be considered white. I think she only spent 10,000 hours on it tops. So that can be white. It doesn't need to be staying any other color. Now, let's talk about her definitely. At least center it. Right? She doesn't wear those. But, you know, here she was raising a child, here she was teaching a child, and here she was taking care of the child. So the child, that's the section that she doesn't have to wear them, so she doesn't. She has to wear these guys because these are her profession zones. So let's talk about what skills does she have. Putting in the largest amount of time would be her, I'm going to say her tactics side. She's tested in for 3 levels of tactics, or maybe even longer. I think I'd put in even blue, maybe? No. I'm going to put her in orange. She's pretty good at tactics, but I don't think it's better than her other previous job, right? Her diplomacy, probably a yellow level, along with her law. I'm going to leave that one white because she's not so good with that. I mean, she's okay, but I think she's serviceable. And that's where we're going to be. And she's probably going to be the best at that. She has been very good at cooking, so we're going to put her in blue on the cooking. And her medical's probably serviceable, I would guess. Yeah, I'm going to make her medical serviceable. I'm also going to say that she had some notable things that occurred diplomacy-wise. That seems about right. Right? And like, that's all right. You don't have to. I think I'm kind of rolling out on my own little universe anyway. So there's that. It's all good. I mean, I assume that these blocks are made in a certain way. I mean, they're probably actually acrylic or something. In fact, I would hope they'd be kind of That would look cool, as if they were made of acrylic and translucent in a way, or transparent even, which would be cool. Right? Exactly. That was diplomacy. She got the stripe for it. It's all good. You know, I feel like that's a thing. I also think she should get stripes for her tactics. Because she's pretty good at tactics. There we go. I think when she ranks up too, that color will change, but the stripes will stay in there. So, you know, you've got kind of, and I think those stripes will match this pattern here on the sleeves. We talk about the patterns of ranking up. So it's a dotted line until you do something even better. Then it's a solid line. Then you get a solid line and a dotted line, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, sort of internally, you get every time you get an accommodation or something like that. But it makes it an easy read. You can now see on her skill set that if you were to look at this particular officer, you'd be like, okay, I know what I want to do. I want to take her out for tactics and stuff like that. Maybe diplomacy. Should be, that's why she's in the command track. Kind of makes sense. She's got law, she's got diplomacy, she's got tactics. But you know what? Don't know if I want her to fix the ship, because it looks like her engineering skills are pretty low, and all she's got is basic engineering anyway. And her medical, probably field medic area, but she's gonna be a hell of a cook. So, yeah, no. I think that was kind of. I think this is kind of cool. You can kind of see at a glance what's going on. Since she ejects those 3 life skills on the right there, she just ejects them completely. She doesn't have to wear them. So you won't know that she's had a child. I wonder if you get like diplomacy from being married. You know what I mean? Like, yep, that was a rough marriage. I get 2 scores in diplomacy on that one. Ugh, you know. All right, I'm liking this. We don't need this anymore. We don't need that one anymore. Good. Now what we will do is do what we were talking about. Why are you having a problem today? You know that's what this is for. It is a pen. Use the pen. Use the pen, Luke. Let it guide your actions. There we go. Now separate these a little bit more so that we can talk about. Just make sure that those are. I'm gonna deselect. There we go. Kind of dig this. I think we finally like figured out what the thing on her, on her chest. That's what this reads. That's what this is. So we can take now and do this, because this is also that command star, and say copy, paste, deselect, and move it to here. And I'll just use the same widget and just make it larger. You're really doing the I'm crappy at this thing. At some point, we'll have to do this for every character. But I don't think I'm going to do it today. But actually, even though I started this by going, I'm just going to be screwing around and not doing any work today and at least trying to get something done. In the end, I actually am pretty pleased with what this says, represents, and does. It makes me wonder, was she happy when she got her command star? Or was that one of those where she smiled and nodded and took the star and put it on her uniform and went home and got drunk? You know what I mean? Like, now I start to think about this. There are a lot of people who really are into this is a great honor to have the command star on her uniform. Was she honored? You know what I mean? Like, she is in a point as a character where I don't know, maybe not, I don't know, sort of thing, you know. Became much more interesting all of a sudden, didn't it? Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is just give me a blank. I'm going to do this real quick. No. Again, what is my problem? All right, I'll take this. And go copy, paste, and take this. Same thing, copy, paste. Work with me here. You. Weird error. There is no object to transform, is a weird error to give me. There. That looks a lot better. I think also we have the difference between a patch device, which is what's on here, and an actual patch, which is what's on there. Because that's the actual service patch. This is a patch device. So it's like a pin. Again, it's one of those that I feel like should be like a translucent acrylic. Just like the awards. And since we did it, we should do this again and put the I don't know why you're doing this, guy. Once you shrink it down, it won't matter. I don't care. I'm gonna make this life harder. For reasons. I don't know. Maybe it's a device there too. It's a larger device, though. I feel like I'm saying it's a service patch, but I think it might be a device. All right. Nope. I like that it's all mad because I now changed it. Really? Why would it do that? I like it. Works. The next thing I want to do is say nice. They- It's really a service device. And the reason I say this is because I feel like the Unity service patch is a patch. It really is a patch that sits on your shoulder because you're not likely to change services. Um, I mean, I guess you could. Anything's plausible, but you're not likely to. So the service patch is still a patch, and it doesn't actually change. But your device, you can change ships at any time. So you just pull the device off and then switch it for a different device, which would then clip on, magically attach itself, burn itself into your skin. I don't know, whatever. That means we gotta change this over here to say service device too. But I also like that that allows me the ability to do the I resign clink thing from Star Trek. You know, they take off the badge and throw it down on the ground or whatever. You're not actually resigning from the military, I guess. I guess you could resign from the military entirely, but you don't have to rip the patch off. You can just say I'm out of the ship. And that pretty much puts you into neutral status. And so, you know, you're pretty much out of the military again. Although, you know, like I said, no body shame. I resigned, zip, work. You just take your uniform off, throw it on the ground. I think that would go weirder. I mean, I'm willing to push the limits of that particular thing on this story, but I don't know if I'm willing to push it that far. That seems remarkably unpleasant. So, now the stop is because I'm like, well, looking at these uniforms, all of it's set correctly. Now the uniforms have the correct color codes, and they are correct in all ways. Now I'm kind of pondering. We only have about 10 minutes left, but I'm now kind of pondering out. I like this. I like the way that we've kind of fleshed out the character a little bit more by doing this page. You know what I mean? Like it's actually kind of cool. It's kind of interesting. We have not had a George visit all day. He has decided he wants to go take a nap. And that's a George thing. It's what George does. Only thing I want to do is just move her over. She's not quite centered. I can move her just a smidge to the left. Kind of interesting that this is her. And actually, when we deal with Bennett, we actually have a problem to deal with Bennett that we're going to have to think about. Now that I've done this, what do we do when you have a skill but it's downgraded? Like, Bennett used to be a biologist. Like, all of these skills are predicated on the idea that you still have that skill. What happens when you downgrade or denigrate a skill? That's a good question. Things to think about. I do like the formal. It's pretty cool. I could totally see wearing the formal. The formal is also one that does not have the flared sleeves for holding an RC thruster pack. So hopefully nobody ejects you into space while you're at a formal dance, because that could be unpleasant. So now I need to figure out, how do you get acrylic hexagons in color? That'd be a good assassination way of doing things. I forgot what I was saying. I'm sure it was important, though. So, yeah, I'm at the last 5 minutes of the show, and I'm just thinking through stuff, and I'm just brainstorming, really. Oh yeah, open an airlock at a formal. Yeah, I mean, even the dress uniform, the standard dress uniform, has flared shoulder, or has RC packs, so it can seal. And I think that, well, the formal still has seals. I mean, that's a seal, so it'll still seal up, and those are safety retrieval, so it'll still seal up and keep you protected for 2 hours or 3 hours or whatever, however long these suits last. But the problem, of course, is that though it keeps you protected for that long, it won't. It won't be able to. You won't have any maneuverability, so you're just drifting. So you still can be saved. It's just you can't maneuver. You can't save yourself. That could be an interesting scene, where they open an airlock at a formal and everybody's blown out, and everybody's just drifting in space waiting for somebody to come rescue them. Because you'll be okay in hard vacuum. You'll live for the 2 hours that suit keeps you alive, because it's still whatever magical fabric that these suits are. Okay, well, this has become a fascinating experiment um, in a character sheet. In a way, it has become her character sheet, and if you were to put a skill set on there, you could actually pretty much straight up do a skill set on her. Well, these squares here that I've got, which I have started doing, are just different thoughts. So I have an entire directory of it, which looks like this. And they're all in the same format. They're all in the same square, so that I can just pull the data up, but they're all different things when we think about different concepts of things. I mean, either it's like this, which is just quotes of people that I wanted to remember, I thought up at some point in time, and that's just a quote. Or we've got like all this stuff about the original Earth beta pilot, which we may or may not ever see. Then there's the professions. There's Sarah Stillknight. We were talking about her. Yeah, so the 2-5-10 rule, which says that all cases where you put somebody in jail must be reviewed every 2, 5, and 10 years by a different and unrelated legal expert. so that you have a chance at 2 years and at 5 years and at 10 years to be reviewed. And if you if they're removed from society, you have the chance to pull them back. Right? So that's the 2-5-10 rule. Deistati, they don't smile, generally speaking, because of the relative distance of what happened throughout the history of the Deus history between humans and the group that became the Deistati. Right? So that's, these are just things that are in here. And there's that, and that's where we are. And then the Yaz, which I haven't drawn over the AI rendering, but I loved the little AI rendering was so cute. So I just went ahead and just kept it for right now. So things like that. That's what's in here. All the clans of the Deistati. So can you imagine being part of Clan Epic? My name is Bob Epic. So Story Clan is the top clan, of course, and then Clan Legend is the second clan. Some of them go by houses, some of them go by clans. Depends on how you are. So that's what I've been doing, is just sticking things in here every time I think of something, because now we can use it in the new tech manual or not, or whatever, but it's already formatted to be put out onto social media or whatever. It's already been formatted. But every time I think of something that I'm like, I don't know where this belongs, I pull up one of these squares and then I do the thing in the square and then save it, and then I'll come back to it later. But with them as images, I can see in my head, I'll remember it. So that's a good thing. So that's kind of useful. Okay, guys, we are at the end of the show. Thank you for being with me here. Jerry, Brent, I appreciate both of you guys for being with me and trying to make sure that I stay on task, stay on target. And we had, of course, one YouTube bot. It's amazing how fast those YouTube bots have homed in on my YouTube channel, which I find intriguing and somewhat disturbing. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day. We are doing a thing tonight at a friend's house, and I may be late arriving to tonight's stream, depending on how it goes. My wife, it's my wife's birthday today, and also she has never seen the movie Pulp Fiction, so apparently that's going to be the thing we're doing tonight, is watching Pulp Fiction. I don't think it's a movie she's going to like too terrible much, but that's okay. You did get to interact a little. It's good. It's all good. Anyway, I'm OOH. I will see you all later. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.